Hey, Jim.
Jim out of Charlotte Observer. Brad, while you were celebrating in Victory Lane, Mike Davis tweeted something and said that I was just thinking about the day Brad Kay was sitting trying to convince Dale Jr. to give him a shot, and now look at him, or something to that effect.
Yes.
I just wondered, in these last 4 weeks, forget about the ankle, but just as your career, so much has happened in a very relative short period of time, what do you think about? I mean, you almost sounded a little speechless in Victory Lane tonight.
Well, I think about what an honor it is to just have this opportunity. And there's so many race car drivers out there, so many talented race car drivers. They're everywhere, and some of them get the opportunity, and things happen outside of their control, or sometimes they just screw it up, and a lot of them don't. And I feel lucky to have gotten the opportunity and to not have screwed it up. There were several times where I felt like I had, so just very, very fortunate to be where I'm at right now. And when you're running those last few laps, you're thinking to yourself, I just can't believe this. I didn't even think I'd ever have the opportunity to run this race, let alone to be leading it with 5 to go or whatever. I can remember talking to my brother right before he got the chance to start the Daytona 500. I asked him, what do you think? How are you going to do in a race? Blah, blah, blah. I said, I don't care. I just can't believe I'm in the Daytona 500. I'm going to get to run it. No matter what happens, this is the best day of my life. And I try to keep that in perspective, how lucky I was just to even be running this race, and how fortunate I am to be a part of the sport, let alone to have been leading it at the end and to win it. It's a huge honor.
Let's go back up to the press box. Go ahead.
This is Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers, for Paul. Brad recently told the story about when you met with him in the motorhome at Michigan, when he was trying to convince you to be the crew chief, and he said that the way he recalled it, you were real quiet, sat and listened to him the whole time, and then when he was done, he said you looked him straight in the face, said, "No, I don't think so," and walked out. How tough was that to make that decision? And when you walked out the door, did you kind of second guess yourself or wonder where your path might have led, and surprised how it has led?
Well, I don't know.
Hear this answer. Paul, what were you thinking that day?
At the time, I was committed to the team I was with. It was exciting, to have Brad, give me the call and want to talk about it. It's always an honor, to be wanted, I guess. And I'd worked really hard to get where I was at, and like I said, I'm pretty dedicated and loyal to people that have helped me out, and the situation I was in, I felt like that was where I wanted to be, and I'd made a commitment to those guys, and I was going to live up to it. So not sure if that was the response Brad was expecting or thought he was going to get out of me, but and then as the season winded down, the opportunity came about when that team didn't have sponsorship. So at that point, we started to talk again.
Other questions in the press box?
Brad, a couple for you. Number one, just driving the Blue Deuce with all the success Rusty and Kurt's had here. I know you're such a big fan of the sport and stuff, and respect the history of the sport. Talk a little bit about that first.
Well, yeah, I mean, first off, the Miller partners or distributors or what have you, the group in this area is so supportive of the race program, and like Paul said, it's an honor to be where you're wanted and where you're supported. He was talking about in some other context, but it's the same thing as it talks about sponsors. And Miller loves Bristol, and it's always an honor. I was so thrilled to drive by that banner pulling in here to the racetrack, and I just feel like I lived up to the commitment they've made to me by being able to win and be successful. I wasn't sure we were going to be able to do that. Obviously you try really hard, but Miller is a marquee sponsor of the sport, and one that's been around for quite some time. It's an icon with obviously the Blue Deuce. I think more people know the Blue Deuce than know me for sure. And so I feel very lucky to get to drive that car, and I just hope that I can pay it back by having strong runs like we had today.
The second thing I wanted to ask you about is the rides, of course, you're giving to the veterans tomorrow, and what all that means to you.
Sure, yeah. I'm spending the night here at the racetrack and have an event with my foundation here tomorrow. I was hoping I'd get a few more of you media guys to come out and maybe I could give you a ride and scare you all to hell. But nobody volunteered, I imagine that. Who knows, maybe somebody will now. But we're going to have a lot of fun with it. My foundation, the Checker Flag Foundation, we do some cool things with the track. And we also are partnering with Miller to do it. So have some cool things going on, and it's going to be a blast. And it's always nice to kind of pay it back to the people that make it possible for us to get to drive race cars in our circle and hoot and holler and make a lot of noise in Victory Lane. And, the veterans and those that have made sacrifices, and specifically the ones in my foundation that have made sacrifices to life and limb. It's always an honor to be a part of that with them and to kind of give back to them.
Anything else up in the press box before we come?
Yes, Nate Ryan, USA Today. And Brad, kind of following up on that, you went in the diametrically opposite direction from last year with your pre-race driver introductions tonight.
Yeah.
What's the story behind the two veterans introduced, and are they going to be part of the ride-alongs tomorrow?
The two guys that were out there, yeah, they're two of them that will be a part of the ride-alongs tomorrow. And I'll be glad to have them for sure. Are you coming, Nate?
Debatable.
That means no.
Nashville.
Anything else upstairs?
No other questions from the press box.
Thanks, Lewis. Let's come back downstairs. Go ahead, Shannon.
Shannon Spake, ESPN. Before the obvious jump off your car in Victory Lane, what is your pain level? What was your pain level tonight in the car?
The last 100 laps, I was certainly started to feel it, but I don't think anybody wants to hear me whine. So every once in a while I do, and they tell me just to shut up anyway. So it hasn't been very productive. So it obviously has felt better, but I wish I wouldn't have jumped off the damn car. You should stay tomorrow, Shannon. You want to go for a ride tomorrow? It'll be fun. Oh, yeah, you've got kids. Nobody wants to party anymore.
Bob, go ahead.
Bob Pockris.
We're all old. Oh, damn.